Part 1, Unit 17, Gateway. As a couple start to form a relationship, they can be seen to develop a set of constructs about their own relationship and, in particular, how it is similar or different to their parents' relationship. The couple's initial disclosures involve them forming constructs about how much similarity there is between them and each other's families. What each of them will remember is selective and colored by their family's construct system. In turn, it is likely that as they tell each other their already edited stories, there is a second process of editing whereby what they both hear from each other is again interpreted within their respective family of origins construct systems. The two sets of memories, the person talking about his or her family and the partner's edited version of this story, go into the cooking pot of the couple's new construct system. Subsequently, one partner may systematically recall a part of the other's story as a tactic in negotiations. For example, Harry may say to Doris that she is being bossy, just like her mother. Since this is probably based on what Doris has told Harry, this is likely to be a very powerful tactic. She may protest or attempt to rewrite this version of her story, thereby possibly adding further material that Harry could use in this way. These exchanges of stories need not always be employed in such malevolent ways. These reconstructed memories can become very powerful, to a point where each partner may become confused, even about the simple factual details of what actually did happen in their past. Exercises 1 and 2. Balance is critical in all orchestral music. The most important parts, themes or melodic lines, should be heard clearly, while the accompaniment provides support and interest without drowning them out. The overall combination of sounds should produce the right orchestral color. In the past century, some instruments have developed in a way that makes good balance hard to achieve. In Brahms's day, everybody could play fortissimo and nobody was drowned out. Otherwise, he'd never have written fortissimo for every instrument. Today, in his works, the brass needs to play inside the sound of an orchestra, often more quietly than is written in the score. Modern brass instruments are louder than those Brahms knew. Their tubes are bigger and wider. Conducting the new Queen's Hall Orchestra in London was an eye-opener. The musicians play on instruments like those used in London in the 1920s. Gut strings, wooden flutes, French horns, and narrow-bore trumpets and trombones. I've conducted a variety of pieces with this group, and I've hardly ever had to say anything about balance. The sound of the brass instruments is directional, like a bunch of white-hot needles. It's focused, colorful, and brilliant, but it doesn't spread or drown out the strings and woodwinds. Exercises 3 and 4. Take a painting, cut it into pieces, and rearrange the bits. How much do you have to change it before the end result is your work and no longer something made by someone else? Does it help if more people like your collage than liked the original painting? Can the collage be a genuinely new piece of art? By the end of the 70s, DJs knew that the remix could go further than just make a song more functional for the dance floor. It also offered them a route into the record industry and the means to finally gain recognition as creative artists. By adding stylistic twists, they could give a song the precise musical flavor they wanted, and if their enhancements were individual enough, these would mark out the remixer, rather than the original writer-musician, as the creative force behind a track. If their particular flavor was reasonably consistent over a series of records, a remixer could even develop a sound, just like any other recording artist. And since a DJ's remixes were usually based on the kind of music he chose to play when he performed in a club, the musical style evident on his remixes would serve to reinforce and further distinguish the musical style of his DJing, and vice versa. Through remixing, the DJ had a way of pushing his music in a distinctive direction, both on the dance floor and in the studio.